for the first time.
Okay.
Who doesn't smile when they walk in here? You gotta be pretty grumpy to not smile.
Take a moment to take it in.
Beautiful.
Just gonna close this door, then we're quiet.
I'm in a moment of silence. Do you have anything to say, Dante?
No, it's hard.
Here's a wall that doesn't exist anywhere else. You might have to take this in on a long pan.
It's hard to film it. I struggle with how to film it sometimes.
It's unfilmable.
Yeah.
But we struggle with the one ARP on the wall.
Yeah. This
How
is
to
good.
film
This
it right.
portrait mode was meant for this.
I mean, even the amplifiers don't look normal.
No, it's nuclear research equipment mostly.
Nuclear.
Yeah.
Okay. Over here. That's just one thing, but
You can even see on some there are stickers from the particle accelerator where they were used.
how would I know that? Which, like that? Like
Let
on
me
these
show you.
amplifiers?
Here, for example, look. Here,
Oh.
from the 140 to this, is that inch, right, with the two? 184-inch cyclotron.
It is, yeah.
Building 81, room number 121. Exactly, that's the number. And somebody called it, it's a lock-in amplifier, but somebody renamed it to Lockifier. So, yeah, this was used in a particle accelerator that was torn down. And that originally comes from, building on that was started in 1943, if I remember correctly. They then used it briefly to enrich materials for the atomic bombs. And then from 1946, it became a particle accelerator.
Here in Germany?
No, in the States.
Oh, you got this from the U.S.?
Yeah, I got this from the U.S.
I guess they didn't really develop nuclear weapons.
So, and from the time this was around, it was mainly used for for experiments with with eye surgery, with radiation eye surgery.
Wow.
So that's when this was used for. Yeah.
And then, but it's an amplifier.
It's an amplifier. Yeah, it's meant to. You've got a huge amount of noise, and you've got tiny signals into them, and you try to find the tiny signals in that noise, and that's what these are made for. So they lock in to tiny frequencies. And when you use them musically, they just explode.
So they lock into tiny frequencies and just they amplify those more.
Exactly. They amplify the tiny frequencies out of all the noise because it's a very, very sharp bandpass filter with like 200 decibels of gain or something. And then, you can match it with the phase. So then you find the signal that you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not one.
There's a bunch of them in here.
I don't think I've
6
ever
of
been
them.
to a studio where I see a wall this big where I don't know one thing. There's always like, oh, I've got one of these. I've got the cool, Yuri.
Yeah. No, this is all. I love it all.
Come on, Dante, seriously.
It's awesome. Yeah,
I mean,
it's incredible.
Where do you go to see this?
Yeah.
We're here.
Let's see if I can fire it up.
We're here.
Stand back a second.
Was there going to be like a nuclear flash or
No,
something?
it's all fine. It's all fine. So I turned it on. So. Yeah, it's on.
Oh, that amp?
All of them.
Oh, immediately.
Is it going through all of them? or-
Now I'm going to start the recording here so you get good
All right.
audio.
I'll just try to be out of your way. Right where you can see this.
So.
You can kind of get the scale where you're sitting now.
Yeah, like this is a human sitting and looking up.
So 1, 2. Recording on 1, 2.
This is dedication.
I'm gonna
plus-
record 1, 2, and 5, 6. 5, 6 should be. 5, 6 is those mics, so we get a little bit of room tone. So you've got 2 tracks, right? Mm-hmm. Do you have Ableton Live?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Then I can drop the project to you. Good.
This is turning into a project. Right
It's always a
before my eyes.
project, like so. Okay, so now I'm gonna take off all the reverbs. It should be.
Man, gigantic. Like meters, VU meters, that's kind of, and needles, it's all the thing of the past, but They're all here. Look down there. Okay, wait a minute. What's the sound source?
Lock-in amplifier.
The amplifier is the sound source?
Yeah. So basically they're getting pinged. They're getting little triggers from here.
What's there?
That's just a trigger matrix from Dupfer.
But is that's making the sound? That's the sound
No,
source,
that's just sending a click. You know, like when you ping a filter. So you're just sending it a click and then the filter rings by itself.
Okay.
So this is what's happening here. I just need to figure out what's doing what. Where is this feedbacking? Good. So now bandpass filters disengage. Turn on. How are you doing here up top here?
Look here, you can see the rhythm. Right there.
I need to figure out which
dun, dun, dun. Those red lights right there. Dun, 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 dun.
I don't. So let me follow what goes where. So we've got green here.
Okay.
That goes here. That goes to here. That goes to this is, by the way, this is the test equipment version of the filter from the UP 2500. It's exactly the same.
That's what Alan R. Perlman used?
Yeah, except it's need it louder. I need it louder on them over there. Sorry.
Okay. I mean, I would take my time, so I think take your time.
Okay.
There's a lot to do here.
Okay, so this is the exact same filter. I tested it against the UP 2500, and yeah, it is it. It's the same circuits. So let me just. So this goes here. No, down here. This one.
Is it resonant then?
Yeah.
How'd you just distort it like that?
That's the analog computer here. Turn on the reverb. Get a bit more clean sound. I'm just wondering why A minus B doesn't do as I wanted to. Okay, let's just go A4 now. But you are A, good, top is A, and you are B, good. And now we do A minus B, and we do figure out where the gain staging is. And we just, somebody else played with this, so now.
Shred.
Yeah, it's the
richest harmonics I've ever heard right there.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Listen to those.
So now we've got the function A minus B x squared. That's what these are running through.
A minus bx squared.
So it's these. Here's
It's
the
essentially a click track.
rhythm. Here's the rhythm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're changing it now.
So we've got this. Now let's bring in one of the others. So let's do maybe, so on channel 3, what do we have on channel 3? Channel 3 goes, I could bring in a UBM. We've got this one here.
What is a UBM?
The abstimmbare Anzeigeverstärker I was waxing poetically about. So, because I took one for the Berghain performance, I took them out of their home here.
While we're here, here's a really old drum computer. And here's a really old Maestro. You can carry on over there. We're just,
Okay.
you know, just
You're
getting
fine.
sucked in. We'll climb back out.
Perfect. I'll just carry on here.
Here's something new.
Yeah, the Moog Muse is the newest thing here, I think.
Moog Muse made it here. And then Nagra, of course. Tape echo. Look at this console. Definitely not a digital console. It's like the original one of these guys. Okay, they're coming to life.
I just need to figure out what this one is doing. You are not sounding as I want you to. Why? You were serviced. There we go. Okay, then I guess if you don't want to play big, then you get a small roll. Okay, so now let's bring in one of the big units here. That's on channel 5. And channel 5, their output goes to the crazy amp here. And it says it's low, or is it good? Okay. Like, it takes always a little bit of time to create a beat on this, but it's worth it when it works. So now let's check. So
So you can get multiple parts going, I guess.
yeah, and then play them via the... You're so high. Ah, but I got you. Why did it stop? Part of the reason... Ah, here we go. Oh. It's just burning up the mixer.
It's also electronic, but then it sounds like primitive beat. It sounds organic in some way.
Yeah,
Like log drums or something.
exactly. It has that resonance to it.
I mean, it's all resonance, right? The whole way it's created.
Everything is resonant filters. Ah! I mean, part of the reason why I made Collide 4 with Joe Analog, like a Eurorack version of these, is because it's way easier to operate Collide 4 than it is to operate these things. Because these are not made for music, these are research amplifiers.
Yeah, but then you get wonderful things that surprise you over here.
Absolutely. Just need to figure out. Ah, here we go. Why don't you want? You're just not singing with me, my darling. There we go. Ah, it just stops for some reason.
So much patching.
Yeah. Now it's starting to sound good because we got
yeah.
bass.
Really clip it.
Yeah, but the trick is like to find the spot where you can cut the bass and then run it into like really hot into the...
Wow.
You know? So if I give more bass, it go flabby. Yeah? Oh, not so much even. But here, yeah.
But these are
There we go.
These are filters, right? They're not
This
amps.
also filters. This is variable. These are like some of the nicest filters I know. These are variable bandpass filters, vacuum tube, Cronin height. This is all American gear, by the way. So very, very US here. This is this analog computer setup is American. These Tektronix oscillators are American. So very, yeah. I wonder why are we not hearing though? Where do they come from? Ah, here.
But a lot of these are just processing clicks and creating the sound through resonance.
This one is actually, so, see, operation mode continuous. It's my favorite. So, and now you. It's my favorite sawtooth oscillator.
I can see why.
So,
That's awesome.
we start like this.
It's not just bright, it like has harmonics. This is richness in the middle.
Now we tune them a bit.
Oh, just got an interesting thing.
Why does it do that? Oh, probably because, so these are driving the two pulse generators behind. So probably we get in some pulse with modulation here. Yeah. Very low. No. Okay, now I know what's good. So this one is running at a very low frequency. And I've got this differential mixer here that is meant to like mix voltages. But so this voltage is interpreted as negative, so it pulls down from the voltage of this, creating the rhythm. But if I up this, it becomes a note again. Not clipping. But we're clipping somewhere, but nicely so.
Amazing sound.
So let's see, this is also to hear the filter. We have this sound.
Okay.
You hear how the sound just disappears?
Can I try it and see
Yeah,
what
of
it
course,
feels like?
please.
That's just so, yeah.
If you want higher, you need to switch. That's the...
Yeah, I gotcha. Just getting some rhythms. Amazing. It's fine to turn,
also-
right? It's very
it's beautiful.
It's like a musical instrument.
And here, like, just how the sound appears and disappears.
Nothing like it.
I love these. These filters are...
Yeah.
These are actually, like, used in mastering oftentimes.
I can see
So-
why. Wow. Are they both live?
What do you mean live?
Like this one affects this? Oh, they're
Yeah.
both together, right?
Yeah, that was together. So
Listen
if
to
you
that.
turn this, like, we could...
You could just record it.
That's why you need assistants in the
Now
studio for this.
Thick that high stuff is. All the way up here. It's so thin.
Yeah.
You can bring it down from here.
Oh! Filthy. Now bring this in.
Yeah,
so
last
this is
ba-junk.
yeah. So, but it takes like when I work here, it takes a day to set up a cool patch.
I can see.
But you get lots of good sounds, but then to like really make them all to get the whole patch going and see where everything is running, that takes some time. But when you get, I mean, the sound is just
Yeah.
the headroom
No
on
other
all
way.
of these is intense, and of course these drive everything behind it. So this poor little Tascam is actually a lot of the sound because it overdrives beautifully, like all Tascams. So this is getting pounded and it survives it.
So you're saying like all Tascams are just good for they can handle
Up
it and
until
they do
the 424, I think. Afterwards, I don't know, but up until the 424, I've got various Tascams and TX from like the 70s to 80s to today, and I love the sound how they overdrive. So that's like, and you can get them cheaply usually. So they are fantastic.
Is the 80-8 too late?
80-8.
That's the one I used. It's the 8-track.
8-track. I have the a half-inch 8-track.
Yeah, that's the one they did.
Big machine. Probably. Oh shit! I should.
You got shocked?
Yeah, I touched.
This stuff's no lie.
No, because on the side here, you can see.
I'm not going to touch over there.
I was like gently caressing the Tektronix, and it's live circuits.
It'll hate on you.
Live circuits here, so I was getting a little bit fizzly.
This is amazing. Like, yeah, it's worth it. I mean, you're willing to do it. You have that desire to put this together, but then spend the time, but
yeah, time and like keeping it up, keeping it working. So
all
again,
of them have to be working.
and the heavy lifting that you have to do, like with all of these. So right now, I think this down there is the heaviest. This is one of the heaviest things I have. It's not working. This needs to go to service, but just getting that to the tech. All of these things,
This double-sized one.
Yeah, the double-sized one.
Because you have to take everything off, too.
You have to take everything off. This is like definitely assistant territory. I can't do all of this
Unplug.
alone.
What sparked this this passion?
Yeah.
So I was interested in early electronic music studios forever, and since I studied musicology, and there I learned about them. I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. I want to try that, but I'll never be able to. And then I visited a friend of mine, Dennis Verschoor. He invited me for a show in Rotterdam, and I played there. And I got showed around his tiny little studio where there was a lot of this stuff, and it seemed very impractical and kind of like big, and much was broken at that point. So I wasn't really interested anymore because I thought I'll never be able to like have this big stuff around. But then Dennis wrote a buyer's guide to test equipment on his Facebook page of the Waveform Research Center. And I said, oh, that's interesting. And I'm just going to see if I can find one or two things near me. Didn't find anything. Because it's like all this stuff. This is like to find something like this or like this, you have to hunt like a madman. And then I found just one big oscillator, a tube oscillator nearby. And I drove there with my bicycle, and I didn't even know how big it was. So how heavy it was. And so I was there with my bicycle, and I bought it for $50, and like, okay, now I gotta leave the bicycle here. Came home, took the train, came home, turned it on, and it's instead of just producing a pure sine, the first notes made were like the THX sound, kind of like. And I was like, oh my God, this is good. So then I started collecting more and more. And when I found my first lock-in amplifier, it's wonderful. Because all these big dials, you find all these sounds that are really tiny, and you can amplify them extremely.
Is that a type of amplifier, a lock-in amplifier?
Yeah, lock-in amplifier.
So it's locking in just specific frequencies and amplifying those, right?
Exactly.
In a simplest sense.
Exactly, in the simplest sense. And these were made for nuclear research. So that's the. I've got one down here, which I never have ever featured, but this is one of the earliest ones I could find. This is by a company called Electronics, Missiles and Communications Incorporated from Mount Vernon, New York. So, and this is one of the very earliest ones. All vacuum tube.
Oh, so
super intense. Used at the University of Arizona, and basically.
Oh, that's where that's where they did the nuclear tests down there.
Ah, yes, exactly. Then that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah, that is where that was used. So I haven't checked with the Geiger counter.
And such beautiful metering.
Yeah,
right. I mean, that's
and the
kind
switches,
of a lost
everything
art.
is joy. So on this, I think I'm missing some operational functionality because it basically sounds like just a wonderful overdrive. But this is the first lock-in amplifier I know of, and I'm obsessed with them. All of these, like lock-in amplifiers, spectrometers, similar thing, tries to lock into things, or here, these ones where I have 4 in a row.
And you pass through all 4?
Yeah. So I've got, so we can hear those.
Hewlett-Packard, is that right?
Yeah, Hewlett-Packard. Like Adrian Utley was here, he absolutely was in love with them. So let me see. This is how it sounds right now.
What's the sound source?
It's just noise. Just basically there's nothing in there. It's just them amplifying noise. So these are tunable amplifiers. So we're just gonna start with number 3.
Can you see this lighting and everything? We're like down underneath.
I like being here. I usually have a little cushion. So we're just amplifying noise. Basically, there's nothing coming in here, right? So, but we've got a bandpass filter. Now it's 300 hertz wide. Make it smaller. Starts to resonate.
Now we're underwater.
Yeah. Can I make it even smaller? 10. Now it's just 3 hertz wide. Maybe go to 30 hertz. Now we can change the frequency.
Oh. Wow, it's really precise.
Yeah. So, and what this is a tracking filter. So you find a signal that you want to lock on, and then you press AFC, and then it tries to lock on. And right now, it's just getting like, there's nothing on the input, it's just getting noise. So it tries to lock onto a signal that doesn't exist. So it does all these modulations.
Oh, you're kind of forcing it into
like finding something. It's trying to find something.
And it's searching, it's modulating.
Yeah. And then this has a sweep mode. So it tries to find a signal, you can sweep it. So you go to, oh, cool, thank you. You're doing here. Now we're doing relay controlled sweeps. I'm going to turn off the searching for a second. Now it's sweeping. Go lower. Do you hear the click?
Yeah, even the tick of the dial.
No, that's not the dial. That's a relay.
Oh.
In here, it's all relay controlled. So it's literally, you can make it really quick. Cut out. Ah. It's this heartbeat kind of thing. This is like ultrasound. Sound when when you're a baby.
Ultrasound?
Ultrasound, exactly.
It does sound exactly like that.
Yeah.
That sounds even more like it.
Yeah. Breaking up here. maximum input. Yeah.
That's what my baby sounded like, because they're pumping it up in there. It was good.
Yeah. Let's get a little baby party going on then. So we've got repeat here. Turn the full noise on. This one is 4. Not hearing 4.
It's low.
4 is doing crazy things. And I've seen unlock. Oh, it's a nice sound.
Oh. That's mid.
That's good.
And this would change the frequency here?
Yeah,
Right?
that's the frequency of the. This is the frequency, and this is the modulation.
Oh. That's tough, but I see.
Yeah, wait. Is it set to repeat? Let me see if it even does it. Yeah, it should. Yeah. How many seconds? It's the relay is ticking.
Wow.
Tick, tick, tock on this one. So.
And then I can change the pitch here. You hear the harmonic overtone.
Exactly. From the noise. It's extracting that from the input noise.
They quantize. They're like overtone, like read in the series.
Yeah, suddenly.
Listen. One more. Oh, it's fantastic. Listen to that.
Oh.
That's what you're doing is. It's like so electronic, but it's so organic. It's how overtones occur in nature.
Exactly. And that's one of the beautiful things about these. They sound electronic, but they don't sound like synthesizers. So it's a bit different. And yeah, I love it. And that's why when I got one, I was like, oh, that's cool. Maybe get a second one. And then the guy said, oh, I've got 3 more. Do you want them? So I basically put together this little filter bank. And again, it takes you can get cool results pretty quickly, but the more time you invest, you can get absolutely fantastic
100%.
soundscapes. And of course, there's other things they take a bit longer to set up, but this is a tracking filter. So what I like to do is play a chord and then set each of them to one note of the chord, and then it tracks the chord. And when you play a simple Juno 60 patch through it, suddenly you have this it tries to follow each of the different notes, and they fail beautifully. It's a bit like those guitar tracking, on the MS-20 or something like that, when they try to track and it's but that's so fine, and it sounds create these underwaterscapes. And when I have to tune this, at some point when I had first this, turn off the blinker signal, turn signal, I was just sitting here and said, I don't need to make music anymore. I just need to listen to this filtering noise and I'm happy. Because you can set also the timings of the sweeps to 50 seconds. So you can have really long noise sweeps. It's very, very...
They really comply, though, even though they're electronic, with the natural occurring overtones of the universe. I think everything just sort of has to, because of the world we're in. It's just like blowing into a long tube, or like on the original trombones. There were no valves, right?
Yes.
You just blow differently,
Exactly.
and you get the fifth and the third and the octave and the third and the fifth and the seventh and all the way up. And that's what's happening with these knobs. But I guess different setups will give you different sets of overtones, but they do follow an order.
Yes.
That's I guess what I'm hearing. Like it's a harmonic order, and that's
because
that's the music you're hearing, I think.
And I think that you know why that is, because you're not only amplifying. There's nothing on the input, so you're getting also hum amplified, and we were filtering through it, so we're hearing like this super amplified hum, and you were filtering through the overtones of that. Here in Germany, it's 50 hertz frequency.
Right,
So
out of the
that's-
wall.
And you got the,
right.
yeah, that's the wall resonate. That was the overtones you were getting. So that explains probably what they were. Yeah, I've got the list of the overtones and the frequencies and the corresponding notes up there, but it's now hidden behind the thing. And one thing, so this was used like in marine biology, for example. Like you would find a dolphin underwater, and then where's the dolphin? There's the dolphin. Keep following that dolphin.
Because it would zero in on the
It would
frequency.
zero in on the frequency of the dolphin.
And then the meter would move
and
as
then
you
it would
get
like,
closer.
This would move like, little would try to keep track of the dolphin.
So if you're getting farther away, you're getting weaker, and then you move the boat.
Exactly, you would try to follow it.
You follow the meter.
Follow the meter, yeah.
That's why you have these wonderful meters.
Exactly.
You know, I miss that because I'm not really like someone that's really ever used a DAW. You know, I use an engineer.
Okay.
And part of what bugs me is the waveform drawing and the grid.
Yes.
Because I feel like if I'm naturally like how waveforms, overtone series naturally occur. Like as a human, I want to fill the, like when you have space in your Euro rack, you want to put a spacer in it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to write music to that, but I like to be more free with the time, you know. And you've already heard me play a little. I step back and listen, breathe. But when you watch meters, right? I'm coming around to this. It feels different.
Yeah.
Because I can track sort of the flow of the meter.
Yeah.
Right. And they design these things very beautifully. These meters. You know, and
they
for
are
a
the
reason.
most important thing. Like
They are.
that this thing has an audio. The audio output of this is hidden on the back. So there's no real like it's not really meant to be listened to the audio. It's like just usually like another function. The main function you're supposed to do is read the voltmeter here.
I guess so. Yeah.
And there's one version,
analyzer.
There's the 3581B version of this, which has a little screen here and doesn't have an audio output. So you are supposed really to watch the meter here.
Wow, it's great being down here on the floor.
It's different, right? That's why that's one of the nice things too. Is like you can move to different things. Like you stretch there, you go here. It's fun to move around the studio. As you can see, it's all standing here. I don't do sitting.